Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. We have some potentially really bad news heading into FC 27 because of what EA is doing in the other football game that they just dropped. College Football 27. It is global release day for this game today, and the entire community is revolting. We've got rant videos, we've got tweets with millions of views telling people to stop playing the game, and a viral hashtag CFB play don't pay, because EA added microtransactions to a spot in this game where there used to not be any, and they did so removing a feature that people loved about the most popular game mode in this game. And how it pertains to us in FC is, well, there's news from inside sources at EA saying that there's going to be more microtransactions coming to FC 27 that might make us just as mad as the college football community is right now. We got to talk about that. And guys, this might be the biggest EA scum move that I've seen like ever. This is a backstabbing, just, oh, wow. Like, I empathize with these college football guys. We got to talk about it, man. If you're excited for this one, you want to see a TFA rant video, drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Now, let's just detail this whole situation. What is happening in college football that's making everybody absolutely livid at EA Sports, and rightfully so. Unlike in our game of FC, Ultimate Team is not the most popular game mode inside of college football. It is instead Dynasty and Road to Glory, where, comparable to career mode inside of FC, you're taking players or teams from low levels and progressing through the ranks, upgrading them over time to reach the pinnacle of success, maybe winning a national championship or getting to 99 overall. It's comparable to career mode in FC, where you take a non-league or a lower division team and promote them all the way to the Premier League and maybe win the Champions League with them. That is the whole idea. It's a sandbox mode, as it's called, very customizable. Everything from the players that you're signing to how you upgrade them, to the jerseys that you're wearing, to the facilities that you have, and even the coach that helps your players progress. You upgrade them, you improve them over time with these progression systems. There is so much to this Dynasty and this Road to Glory game mode. It is the most popular mode in this game that goes back all the way into the 2010s, where it was incredibly popular. It is a very, very fun game mode. I've played it a good bit myself, and it is very fun. I actually got College Football 27 to play that Dynasty game mode, but that's where the frustration kicks in, because EA has removed a setting that made this part of the game more fun and replaced it with microtransactions. What a EA thing to do. But it gets even crazier than just that. This is Bordeaux. He is one of the most popular college football YouTubers. He's basically like the EA Connect to this game. He is connected with EA. He's been partnered with them for a super long time. A lot of people have probably called him an EA shill before because he does work with EA. But when you hear this story, guys, yeah, it is crazy. So this is his big tweet that he put out a couple days, yesterday actually, 2 days ago now. Sorry, saying that I don't like being blindsided by microtransactions and removing features hidden behind all of the new shiny stuff. I like the games a lot. The devs did a good job. Whoever made microtransactions did not. These creators went to an early access event in Chicago a couple of months ago. They heard all the new things about College Football 27, the game that was going to be coming out. Things sounded good. Like he said here, all the shiny new stuff, right? But what they weren't told was that EA was going to be removing a feature, those sliders that everybody liked to help you progress through the Dynasty faster, and replace it with microtransactions. As he said here, the simple way to explain this is they took features out of a single player game that's been there for 2 years and replaced it with a pay to upgrade your player or coach faster. They created a problem and then sold the solution for extra dollars while not mentioning it anywhere or briefing people that it was coming to the game. That's the craziest part. Imagine going to an EA event and then coming back and seeing this, not being told about it. It would feel like the ultimate backstab. This is like the most ratty thing that I think EA has ever done, literally ever. And he went out and said that he will never work with EA again if they don't reverse these decisions. Massive respect. I don't think there's ever been something inside of FC that has been this big. Now, there might, as we're going to talk about today, we're going to have to see, but this is a huge ordeal, and he is leading the charge in the college football community to stand up to this and hopefully get this reverted. I think we can say this about FC and maybe even college football as well, but when it comes to EA making money, we know that they are going to make money. We know that there's going to be plenty of places, especially inside of Ultimate Team, where we're going to see FC points. That is what it is. But especially in college football, where it's predominantly a game mode that is free to play, a single player mode, that is the Dynasty mode that is the most popular, seeing microtransactions get into there, that is just a whole nother level. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about FC 27 as well as we look into this. But that is the whole situation, and that is why people are super frustrated and super upset. There's other YouTubers that have been saying that they're going to leave the EA partnership program as well. This is where they draw the line. Shoving microtransactions into game modes that were always free to play is where these guys draw the line. I mean, I 100% agree. I'm somebody, and we are people who, a lot of you watching, probably play Ultimate Team. So we're used to the microtransactions. We're used to seeing the FC points or the coins option there. And that is the whole reason why I do what I do and why I love doing what I do, is making coins and navigating the game in a way where you don't have to spend money. It is so easy to not spend money on this game and still succeed in an amazing way. But when they do stuff like this, they literally stop you from progressing unless you spend money or by putting in an ungodly amount of hours. Then that's a huge problem. That's a huge no. Now, this is where it pertains to FC 27. This article was a bombazo yesterday, as Mike Straw Media, who works for Insider Gaming as an editor, evidently has some connections to those who work inside of EA, because he wrote an article about what went down with these college football 27 changes. One of the things that he said in here that was crazy was that developers working on college football 27 knew about the implementation of these microtransactions for months, were livid. They were mad. The developers at the game level were mad because it was the executives and those above them that were making those decisions. The producers were even kind of quoted saying that they know the player response was going to be bad, maybe the loudest it has ever been. I would say that it is, based on the, feedback that the community has given in this college football community. But those same sources, like the higher ups, were saying that it won't result in much change, and EA is just going to wait for things to blow over. Isn't that the most like EA thing ever? For them to just say, oh, it's going to blow over. And as of right now, EA has not addressed this issue. Instead, they've been community noted on Twitter as they went down for a server maintenance yesterday before the game launches today worldwide. EA wants to welcome fans by monetizing an offline mode and not sharing the creators or fans upon launch, causing major trust issues with the consumer. Holy community note. That is absolutely crazy. But again, this is where it pertains to FC 27, because inside of this article, where those inside of EA were talking anonymously, sources tell me that EA has been looking at ways to add more monetization options to all the games and franchises in its portfolio, whether it be College Football 27 and in single-player modes, UFC 6, which will have paid expansions for the first time, Madden, which will have more monetization, or EAFC with its upcoming The Grounds mode. Everything is on the table regarding how EA is preparing to pay off the new debt. And I think that pertains to EA being bought out by the private equity firm, the Saudis, as a lot of people have said, and no longer being a publicly traded company. So EA is basically adding in more monetization options, even in single player modes, that we have ever seen before, to try to make more money. It's wild, and it's super duper frustrating. And where this relates to FC and the new The Grounds game mode that is coming, this is the open world game mode that we're getting in FC 27. This is a game mode where we're really curious. We don't really know a whole lot about it. I guess this was a video. I don't know if this is AI or if this is legit. It looks like it's made by somebody on TikTok. I saw DJ Mario reacted to this, so maybe he got a little bit. I'm not sure. But this is kind of like a hopeful idea of what this grounds game mode is going to look like, where it's almost GTA-esque in a way, or it's kind of like My Park-esque, where you go shopping, you're playing pickup games. It's very much like My Park, where you're controlling one player. It's like you're controlling your pro club's player as well. But this is a new mode that's going to be coming to this game that is probably going to bring some new monetization options, but it's not really a single player mode, right? It is going to be a multiplayer mode because you're out in the wild. It's an open world type of situation. But here's my thing with this. They can add more monetization options to this FC27, the grounds open world game mode, if it is pay to skin, okay? If it's pay to skin, I don't mind that, because you don't need to skin your player up if you don't want to. You don't need to spend the money to get all the cool stuff, right? Fortnite made pay to skin popular, and that's how Fortnite made so much money, right? It was less pay to win, it was pay to skin. You could have the basic skin and you would be just as good as somebody who had, you know, the super crazy new expensive like partnered skin of like, I don't know, SpongeBob or whatever they did in Fortnite. I haven't played that much recently, so I don't know what sort of partnerships they have had, but they've done a lot, right? If this stuff in FC The Grounds is pay to skin, then it could be okay, because obviously you'd have the customization abilities to not do that. But if it is not that and it's pay to win, or especially as we have seen here in college football, if it's pay to progress, that is going to be a massive problem. So this immediately right away, this article about the news coming out from inside of EA definitely raises my guard a little bit and puts me on high alert as we head into FC27, because of just this quote right here. EA is preparing to pay off the new debt, with future single player only titles having more monetization options implemented. More monetization options implemented just sounds like a way that we are going to get frustrated inside of FC 27. Now, in a contrarian point to this, one of my favorite guys at EA, who works on career mode, was just quoted on Twitter saying that there will not be anything planned in that direction for FC career mode in terms of microtransactions. This is Andreas. He is like one of the best and most communicative EA producers out there. He's tweeting all the time. Go drop him a follow if you play career mode. I see him on my timeline all the time, responding to people, talking about career mode. If only we had guys in FC Ultimate Team that were like this. We have a couple that are responding more now on Twitter than we used to, but this guy is everywhere, man, and he has passion for the game. So that's good to hear that that there are not any plans for more microtransactions inside career mode. But again, I'm still very curious about this, the grounds mode, and how will there be microtransactions involved in it. Now, this is one more thing that I wanted to say, and Bordeaux shared this same sentiment in his video. If you guys haven't seen, go check out Bordeaux's video. Honestly, I didn't know who he was until this whole situation happened yesterday. Started watching his video. He's a W guy. So go check out his YouTube if you want to hear more about this whole college football situation. But one of the things that he said about this all is he doesn't have a problem with the developers. He says that a lot of the developers that he has come into contact with actually care about the state of the game, and they care about where this is going. It is those up in the executive seats. It is those in the higher positions at EA that are constantly pushing for more money. And then the developers are the ones that have to implement it, and they're the ones that take the heat, right? And it makes sense why these developers move and we get new guys that become the faces of the community every couple of years. It makes sense, because how long can you last at EA with that same message coming from the top down that money is all we need to make, when these guys come in that want to work for EA, that actually care about the game and they want to make it better. They love the sport. They love football. They love whatever they're working on, but the top-down messaging is the one that is the problem. And until some of that changes, and maybe this whole movement can push some of that change, maybe it can, but until that does change, it feels like we're going to be stuck in the same cycle of where EA is just trying to make more money. And it's okay if they want to make money. Like some people won't like that, me saying that, but it's okay if they want to make money, right? They do need to make money. They are a business. But I think they would make even more money if they actually cared more about the consumer. And if they said and put more effort into, okay, we're going to release this new feature. This part of it's going to be paid, but this part of it's not. Come to a middle ground, right? Release new features that are super cool, that aren't pay to win, but pay to skin, or just some way where we can meet in the middle ground, you know? That's all that we're asking for with this sort of thing, because they do need to make money. But yeah, this is just an absolutely wild situation. And I hope, I'm going to follow the situation very closely, and I hope that it does, bring some change. But as of right now, it looks like EA is doubling down. I mean, Bordeaux says EA sent creators a memo doubling down instead of addressing the community. I hope you do something better today. It is the worldwide launch day. You've been quiet. The silence speaks for itself. So, again, guys, this is such a hard situation because everybody in this community is like ranting right now, and it is wild, and it's so frustrating on the launch day of this game. And it almost just feels like, what is it going to be inside of FC27 that does the same thing as what's happening in college football? What is it going to be that frustrates us about the new game? So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts down below in the comments. I just wanted to bring you this video today because it's more of a warning sign, right? It's a warning sign as we get into FC27 that there might be more monetization things inside of it. And of course, you guys know what we're going to do. We are not going to spend any money on FC27 like we always do. Haven't spent any money on a FIFA or FC since FIFA 18. That was the last time before I started making YouTube videos, or for real making YouTube videos, that I spent money on this game. And the whole point, as I've said a lot of times, and you guys know, the whole point for me doing what I do, and the whole point that made me stop spending money, was just not feeling like my time on this game, or my reward value of spending money on this game, was actually worth it. So I just wanted to make this video today to kind of show this whole situation to you guys, because if you're anybody that plays college football, I mean, I feel bad. I'm going to play this game a little bit, but I mean, if I run into this where I have to pay money to level up my coach, which I'm probably going to run into as I'm playing Dynasty, then I'm Audi 5000, you know? Like, I'm not going to keep playing that mode when I run into that whole situation. So I just hope that this brings some change. This might be one of the first movements. This is the last thing I'll say. This might be one of the first movements that actually brings some change. There was one movement before that I can remember from an EA game that actually brought a lot of change, and that was the Star Wars Battlefront movement, when it took allegedly like 800 hours of gameplay to grind, what was it, like the Anakin, Luke Skywalker, something in the game, and the whole Star Wars community revolted, and then EA fixed it, and they actually listened to the community. Fingers crossed that that situation happens here, but it does put me on edge as we head into FC27. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. And if you play college football, like I said, let me know how you're feeling about this. But hey, at least we do have some good new season content inside of this game. We're going to talk about that in the video tomorrow, and the streams will be back tomorrow as well for the Future Stars promo, aka the Phenoms promo. Appreciate you guys, man, and I'll see you in a video tomorrow. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.